The final topic on the AER B-Boy B-Girl podcast is: should breakers enter all-style battles for a bigger and better payday? Hear me out. Should breakers enter all-style battles for a bigger and better payday? Now, I came up with this particular topic a while back, and I'm going based off the information that I gathered back then when I first came up with this particular topic. So follow me, all right? I want you guys to follow me. I remember in the past when breakers would enter all-style competitions, it was like an easy win. You know what I mean? A couple head spins, a couple flares, you would win instantly in an all-styles battle, okay? As time went on, musicality started to play a part in the all-styles competition, and you couldn't just win off tricks. You couldn't just win off power moves and things of that nature, you know? I've noticed within the past 10, 15 years that all-styles community increased in numbers. It got much, much bigger. Whether we're talking about popping, locking, whacking, Vogue, crump, choreo, that all falls under the all-styles banner, okay? Now, essentially what happened, all those different styles and all-styles competitions took notice to like big sponsorships, big brands, endorsement deals, and also like different opportunities for a lot of these high-profile all-style dancers to capitalize on. So my question: should breakers enter all-style battles for a bigger and better payday? I know not too long ago there was an event that was an all-styles event that a lot of breakers entered because the payout, I think, was 100 racks. I don't know if you guys remember that. But there was a lot of breakers that actually entered this competition because of the payout. Rich, I want to go to you first with regards to this particular question. Now, in the early days, I know breakers that would only enter all styles competitions, you know, probably because it was an easy win. They could secure an easy win. In your opinion, is a breaker still a B-boy if they choose to only enter all styles competitions? What says you?
So I'm gonna go, and then this is the second time I'm quoting him tonight. One of my mentors is Alien Ness, and he says the B-boy is the ultimate dancer, right? So no matter what, a battle's a battle, and B-boying came up under battles, right? It wasn't showcases at first. It was about battling. So like whether you pop in, lock in, and whatever derivative of all, first of all of those are like, they go back to breaking, right? All of those came after breaking. So like, if a battle's a battle, right?
You truly believe that today?
I still to this day believe that. So I said that tonight. So and I go back to tonight. We had an open styles battle today. It was a cypher style type thing, and there were, I want to say, the three finalists were all breakers. The three finalists were all breakers, right?
Did they break?
And wait. So the DJ played a mix of, they played a lot of breaks at first. They played a lot of house music. They played some freestyle music, and I think maybe some salsa or something like that. But at the end of the day, what got chosen was three breakers in a Bgirl too, who was kind of like mixing it up. And it was dope. It was a dope experience and blah, blah, blah. I can say that I am biased towards breaking because I understand the difficulty of some of the moves that goes into it, right? Over like people who do all styles and like a lot of, I call it like standing styles, right? Where they're not hitting the floor and stuff like that, which is cool. There's a lot of technique and a lot of difficulty in that as well. I've also personally, I'm gonna talk about my personal experience, entered a lot of all styles battles, especially early in my career, because I started as a dancer. I was a Jersey club dancer, right? I was a choreo dancer, and when I first started, I was at Jersey Club and I started learning choreo. I hung out with a lot of Filipinos, and that's what
True
was going
aggression, crew.
And this was pre-true aggressions. I did a lot of cotillions and all of that. And like choreo was hard for me, but something about breaking stood out to me because I was like, this shit's harder than all of the shit that y'all is doing. Y'all are just like learning a move and doing it 100 times rather than like doing different things and then actually having mastery over particular things. But that's my bias, right? But going back to your question, Yeah, nah. To me, and this is what's passed down to me, and I have the same philosophy. A b-boy or a breaker or a b-girl is the ultimate dancer. So no matter what song comes on, and that's what I consider as AllStyles. No matter what the song is, no matter what, if it's a house dancer across from you, if it's a locker across from you, you should be able to contend with them.
So if I could jump in real quick, if I could jump in real quick, straight to the point. Is a breaker still a b-boy or b-girl if they choose to solely enter all-style competitions?
Nigga, yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes.
So my point is that a battle's a battle, right? Whether you're doing b-boy battles, some people only enter top rock battles, right? I don't know if we want to get into that. Some people only enter top rock battles. Some people only enter footwork battles. Some people only do power moves.
Okay.
Like for real, there's whole crews that only do power moves. Like they only pop out for like, you know what I mean? Like the power battles, like only. Like they don't do regular battles. And they only do that, and that's all they strive for. And they identify as b-boys.
Okay.
And I would recognize them as b-boys or b-girls or whatever like that. And I think that's cool. I think that's dope. Again, breaking is the ultimate style of hip-hop. And that's that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that.
Bang, boop, bop.
Let's move that microphone over to Super Herrick.
No Drake.
Now, Super Herrick, for my Latinos out there, they'll understand this. Hold on, they'll understand this analogy. For those of you guys out there that may or may not understand this, you know, when serving pollo guisado, for those of you guys out there that know what pollo guisado is, it goes with white rice. Now, when serving penin, it normally goes with yellow rice or arroz con gandules. Pollo guisado and arroz con gandules do not match. It don't match.
It don't fucking match.
Okay? It doesn't complement each other, for those of you guys out there that know that. It's kind of like serving fried eggs with a side of spaghetti. With that analogy being said, does breaking feel...
That's a crazy analogy.
Does breaking feel like it belongs in an all-style battle? Does it complement each other? What says you, Herrick?
About, I'm Peruvian. Those are tropical food. I'm Peruvian. I'm from the desert.
Yeah,
There's different food.
Whatever.
Right? So I got to answer with that one because...
you don't understand that analogy.
I get it. I know where it comes from. That's like island stuff.
Well,
but
that's what I'm saying. Pollo guisado goes with white rice.
Yeah,
I mean, you can eat it. You can eat pollo guisado with yellow rice.
But I mean, like I said, I'm from the desert.
But it just don't match. It don't go
I'm from
together.
the desert. I'm from the mountain.
Okay,
like,
let me hear your perspective, please.
Like Peru, like Lima, Peru, like if you go a little bit like 2 hours away from the city, it's like the Sahara, yellow. Like, you know, so it's different. Like we don't.
Does breaking feel like it belongs? Feels like it belongs
from my
in an all-styles battle?
From my experience, I learned breaking out of luck. One of my best friend, Jeff, you know, came to the porch, did a fucking knee drop freeze, big dude, fat dude, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, you gotta teach me. I didn't even speak English. I was like, you gotta teach me this. And then he taught me. And then, because I wanted to learn more, I became one of those 14th Street dancers. You know, I went to 14th Street, to Union Square, to look for dancers, and I learned popping, I learned locking, I learned a lot. And to me, you know, that never took away from me doing breaking or being a b-boy. So, man, I think you're a dancer first. I think you're a dancer first. I think it's the essence of being a b-boy is being a dancer. And I learned a lot. One of my favorite teachers is Mr. Wiggles. Every time he does a class, doesn't matter, I go, and I learned a lot about breaking. I learned a lot about the culture of New York. I learned a lot about what I learned before, you know, and you know, to me, and you know, because we have we rep different. I rep Jersey, Philly, you know, but to me, I had a good a real experience learning from New York, where it comes from, to understand what breaking is. And the only thing I got from there is to be a good dancer, you know. And even without, like, if you want to talk about Latinos, right? When I speak with my grandma about music, she always mentions salsa of New York, like salsa fuerte. That's how she called it, like a strong salsa. And she said that it was funky, that was very, very different. And so to me, it's being a dancer. Being a b-boy is a dancer. It's a dance first foremost. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it takes away from being a b-boy.
It feels the same.
Yeah, it feels the same. I think there is, of the street culture, like the rockers, right? One of the interviews, it was crazy that I saw, one of like the newscasts, just researching on YouTube, when one of the police officers is saying, it's about the hip hop culture, saying, I was like, oh, they keep on saying, these kids keep on saying, they're rocking. And to me, that's interesting because it's like, okay, so formerly maybe breaking was called rocking. So this is why it has this street kind of essence, but everything else is just about music and dance.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Super Herrick. Appreciate that. Jigs, let me go to you quick, homie, because let's talk about break beats and breaking tracks. Yes, sir. Right? Now, most of the time when we talk about breaking beats and breaking tracks, for the most part, it resonates or gravitates towards breakers. A break beat is for a breaker. You know what I mean? However, now, we in 2025, the music has changed and there's a lot of tracks that are far from the breaking genre. A lot of tracks that a lot of these young kids are playing now. And I say young kids respectfully. There's a lot of young breakers out there that are battling or breaking or DJing to a lot of these breaking tracks that wouldn't be considered to be under the breaking genre, especially the traditional breaking genre that we're used to. Some of the music breakers break to today can easily be identified as non-breaking music, but we still break to it anyway. Let me ask you this, homie. Should the breaking community like open the floodgates with different genres of music to incorporate a more diverse or more inclusive range of music instead of the music that's specific to breakers? You think we should just kind of break to anything and we should open that up at jams and open that up at different parties and things of that nature? Or should we do what we do with what we have and what it is that we do with music, if that makes sense? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think we should open up with whatever we have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you down to break to Lady Gaga at a battle? Keep it real.
Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
There's mad songs.
No.
There's
No.
mad other
No.
songs.
Well,
Poker face?
No. I don't.
That's like pop,
so
right?
you would prefer
pop,
more
right?
breaking beats
Yeah.
than opening it up to other stuff.
So, like any music? No. Yeah.
Right. Because AllStyles is any music.
Yeah.
If you're entering an AllStyles competition, it's any music.
It should be breaks.
It should be break beats.
Yeah. Otherwise, how does it make sense?
Well, these two guys say it makes sense.
We
These
never
guys
said
are saying
about
it makes
music, We
sense.
said about dancing.
Yeah, I was talking about the dance.
I mean, let me ask you something.
Music
Do
is
you
the other
think?
question.
Do you think
you
breaking
said it
music
makes sense if we dance that.
is breaking music original music or is it an infusion? Think about it.
Any
Because
music? No. Not
think
any
about
music.
it, because if you think of like Kool Herc, right? He's Jamaican. He's a migrant Jamaica, bringing his music to New York City, right? They have they also have influence for electronica music.
Well, what you're talking about is
right?
a direct influence.
No, but they had.
I'm talking about a genre of music.
Hip hop itself had a lot of influence from Germany with electronica music. A lot. So it's really hip hop, right? Hip hop. Let's talk about hip hop, right? Because if we talk about break, we talk about funk, and that's different too. We talk about like James Brown funk, right? So now, is hip hop music an infusion music or is it original?
It's original.
You think it's original?
No, I know it's original.
I think it's an
inspired.
infusion.
I think it's
I think
inspired.
it's
no,
an infusion.
you're talking about a direct influence.
I think it's an infusion.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, we can go down that rabbit hole all the way back to Africa and when they created the goddamn drum beat Are you going to tell me that Africa has something to do with the
Yes.
development of hip hop?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
No, it's not. Hip hop is a Bronx, New York thing.
No, I'm not.
Because
I'm
you call
talking
it
about
hip-hop.
music.
Because
Because
you call it
you already
hip-hop.
labeled
Because it is hip-hop.
No, you label it.
But it's a
yeah.
derivative of the African drum beat.
But it doesn't matter. Everything's a timeline. If you're going based on a
That's
timeline.
what derivative means. That means it was passed down.
Right. But if we're
Passed
talking
down
about...
I
to
think,
this,
look,
passed
listen,
to
I
that.
think because we didn't have it at the moment, right? It's an original infusion. It's not original to its essence because it's electronic music, it's funky
nothing's
music.
original.
I mean, a drum sound will be original. That's as original as it gets,
yeah.
right? I think there's an original infusion of hip hop because it infuses a lot of stuff. Now, if you say about music, because now we talk about pop, because you mentioned Lady Gaga,
And we mentioned
I mean,
AllStyles.
I wouldn't like to dance to that because I don't think I feel it. But I mean, if someone feels it, fuck it. You know?
But
if
it
someone
belongs.
feels it, yeah. I mean,
but it
someone
belongs in an
feels it,
all-style.
yeah.
Okay. Did you want to piggyback off that, Jigs? You're not fucking with anything outside of break beats or breaking music or anything hip hop related with regards to breaking and battling. Yes or no?
No, of course I am. Of
You
course.
you fucking with it.
Yeah, of course I'm fucking with it.
You not fucking with anything outside of break beats.
I mean, like break beats is the essence. Like, there's no questioning that. There's no arguing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, break beats.
Mm-hmm.
There's no arguing that. Like, that's the essence. That's the beginning
Yeah.
for anything, even anything that you.
That's
So what is break beats for you, Jigs?
break beats for me. Dude, that's the origin.
Okay.
The breaks is like, come on, man.
Let's go, big nigga. Let's go. Wait, so listen, hold on. Because I have another question I do want to ask, and I do want to go around the table. Okay. I think where we're getting confused is that the genre of a particular category of music starts and ends at a certain position. Yes, there are different inspirations, there's different influences where we can run parallel or adjacent to. But at the end of the day, the genre of what the category is in terms of dance is what it is.
Right.
So when we say break beats, it's a fucking break beat.
I
don't
get
give a fuck what influence or what inspired it.
It's the
It's a
same thing.
break
I mean, I
fucking beat.
I don't even want to get to philosophy, but we talk about essence when we talk about something. This is a fucking bottle, right? There's an essence to it, and we can identify that. And I get what you're saying. What I'm trying to say, sometimes I feel because hip hop comes from a humble and a very harsh, and I'm telling you because. This is my understanding to something. I'm Peruvian, right? I grew up in a very different. I didn't grow up here, right? I mean, I grew up in Jersey when I was 9 years old. So yes, I grew up here, but I seen life in Peru, which is totally different, right? And when I try to convey and feel 70s New York City, it gives me a little vibe of Peru, right? It gives me a little bit of like, okay, maybe this was this way, right? And sometimes I feel that because of the humble experience, because of the hardness, we always need the human experience always to tend to create something. But to me, sometimes I try to take the emotion out just to see how far I can go, where there's something really come from, right? And I don't take it away from how original the infusion of hip hop is, right? I don't take it away because obviously there's a reason why I can hear it. There's a reason why my soul can feel it. Because there's a reason. Can I explain that? No, I can't explain that because it's something within me, right? But before I forget the thought, right? What I'm trying to say is it emotional that we hold on to breaking because we love it so much to say it's the fucking original thing? Or can we see the structure and really dissect where it really comes from?
Okay.
That's sometimes what I do. And especially what I do is I don't share this stuff because sometimes it's hard because, we love it. We love it. It could be easy to be like, this is it. You know, it's gonna be easy. But sometimes I try to take my feelings out of way for things to see it. You know, and then when I talk about essence, it's like we know it's a bottle, but can we see beyond that bottle? You know,
If you choose to.
boy, you have. I mean,
If you choose to,
you know?
you got to find comfort in something. But let me go over to Rich Nice real quick. Rich, I have a question for you. Now,
I'm gonna still go back to the other thing because I got strong opinions. I got strong opinions on it.
all right. Well, let me ask you this question first.
Yeah.
To establish recognition and or a reputation, ideally you want to go where there's a larger audience.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's say getting your name out, right? Or trying to catch some clout, trying to get some reputation. Could getting your clout out benefit you more coming from the AllStyles community rather than the breaking community as a breaker? Understanding that there's a larger audience in the AllStyles community?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna start with I'm gonna talk about like I've judged AllStyles battles and I've also battled in AllStyles battles as a breaker, as a primarily breaker. When people ask me like, "What's your primary dance style?" I'll say breaking. But when I was younger, I was like breaking / hip hop, right? And it was like, yeah, I could do hip hop styles. As I just said, I was a Jersey club dancer at first. I did some choreo stuff. I know a bit of this and a bit of that. Like I could get by on some locking. I've taken classes. I could get by some popping. I've taken classes. But I'm a b-boy. Like I'm a b-boy, right? So when it comes to doing like gigs, for example, or like getting views, or like if I wanted to make money and like, you know, sign up for Block and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do AllStyles. That's where the money is. Like that's, you know what I mean? Or if there's an AllStyles jam and it's like, oh, dance your style, they fly you to France and they do blah, blah, blah. There are b-boy outlets for that too. But if you wanted to do another route, an alternate route, I'm not gonna say it's better, but yeah, that option is open for you. There are some people that they are primarily b-boys is their primary style, and that they, you know, and I've learned that firsthand too. You can learn a little bit of this and that and be popping boom, 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 and do a backflip to flare to air flare, and like people go crazy because nobody else is doing that. You battling a bunch of poppers. Like from my experience as an AllStyles dancer, it's a lot of poppers, right? So it's a lot of people who are doing standing styles as I reuse that phrase.
Okay.
Right? And all of that's cool. All of that's cool, right? And you could lose to them any day of the week, especially certain music and things like that. Because a lot of b-boys don't know how to rock to any music, which to me, as I was saying earlier, is my strong stance on, is the point of the AllStyles battle. Because even tonight, like, there are things beyond break beats. There are things beyond house beats. There are things beyond freestyle music. There are things beyond even poppin' music, you know what I mean? Or funk styles and things like that. Like, it literally means all styles. So, like, Jersey club, you know, Chicago, you know what I mean? Like, bachata. Florida, bachata, like, whatever it is, AllStyles is AllStyles. So, whatever they put on, and you enter the AllStyles battle, that's what you got to deal with when the music comes on. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to break the bachata, good luck. God bless you. You know what I mean? Like, that's on you. And I even said that tonight. Like, no, for real. Like,
okay.
And that's why I think that breakers or b-boys, b-girls, and things like that need to be the ultimate dancers. And I always encourage breakers to like listen to other shit, to learn other styles. It'll definitely help your breaking, because breaking is the penultimate style of hip hop. So any derivatives of that, especially popping, locking, you know, those kind of styles, funk styles, blah, 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 comes from breaking. You need to at least comprehend those styles to be the ultimate dancer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And also, real quick, to go into the whole, like, what is break beats and all of this kind of stuff. Break beats is a derivative style, right? It's when break beats were first, quote unquote, coined and things like that, it was a break of a song that was already happening, right? So it was like a funk song, and then there was a break in the song where there were no words, it was a beat, and it was time for people to dance and get down. And then they got back up and they continued to regular dance. You know what I mean? Like it was
we know
like
this,
that, right?
Most of us, we know this.
That's common understand. Hopefully, that's common understanding, right? And I've been chilling with a lot of OGs and whatever, right? But my whole point is that's why breakers are supposed to be the ultimate dancers, because you need to know how to dance up top before you could break it down. Before you could break and hit the break, you need to be on the regular shit.
But it's usually the solo of the orchestra.
Yes, for sure.
Because you gotta give
the
that.
drummer some, give the guitar some.
My grandma showed me
All of
this
that, all of
actually. I mean, I knew
But
it's
if you can't
breakbeat,
two-step-
but she's like, one day I was dancing with her. She was like, "Here comes the orchestra," and I never understood that when she said that, and then she would fucking just rock it, and I never got that until I was like, "Oh fuck, that's the breakbeat." That's what she meant. That's the breakbeat.
Right.
Where it's the solo, where the fucking everyone gets to,
Okay.
sing it quiet. He's like, go do your shit right now.
So I would say also a lot of hip hop songs have taken break beats and they use it to rap over the break beats, which means you should be able to dance over the whole break beat, which goes into like the whole hip hop into rap styles and all these other styles. But when it first started and like they were sampling, funk styles and jazz and all of these kind of things like that, and it was like a very intentional, purposeful break that was in the song. That's the part that you break to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But other than that, you had to already have been a dancer in order to break. So like,
Okay.
that's the point of it. To
Excellent.
me, that's
Excellent.
the point. That's
Thank
the
you,
point.
Rich.
Yeah, yeah,
Appreciate that. Jigs, let me go back to you, man. Last question for you, homie. With regards to this particular topic that we're talking about, okay? Now, last year there was an AllStyles event. I believe it was called Beyond Doubt. It happened in France, right? Now, this particular event was given out 100 racks cash prize, 100 racks. Now, the most a single battle, from my understanding, has ever given out was this all-style battle called Beyond Doubt. It was 100 racks. Could Breakin' ever see that much money in a single event? You think there's an event, a jam out there that could see, a breaking jam that could see 100 racks? What says you?
I think they can be an event.
Talking to the mic.
I think they can be an event with like 100 racks, but I think that we have to like, take our time and make sure that everything is, on point. Otherwise, like, some people are gonna feel like, oh, they're being left out.
100 racks is a lot of money, homie.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of bread.
I'm fighting you after the jam.
That's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
What, if you lose in the final, you fighting?
That's a lot of bread. I don't think
It's that gay?
I don't
you
think.
fighting over
I don't
100
think there
racks?
was other
Call me
events
gay,
that
whatever,
had that
fight.
much money.
I'll be gay for 100 racks.
I think 50 was probably the most I've ever seen at a jam. 50 cash prize.
100 racks is, that's a big amount.
That's big.
I
money.
feel like, people would feel some way.
It's a house payment, bro. That's a fucking...
half.
That's a
Nah,
lot.
nowadays it's a little bit more. It's your down payment.
What would you do with 100 racks? Keep it real.
100 racks?
What would you do?
It's a crib, bro.
Yeah, you get a house, baby.
Okay.
You get a house. Forget about all of y'all.
Right, we're chilling.
I got a house.
Right.
Nah,
With a
nah,
yard,
nah,
with a
nah.
yard, bro.
But, nah, I mean, maybe something like that, or just, something like, we got enough to get a crib, and then, we work with it with that, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, who the fuck would know what to do?
Would you let
With
Rich
that much money,
ball
with that much
$40?
money? Huh?
Would you let Rich borrow $40?
$40 is crazy.
40 grand? Yeah,
No.
I'll let.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll give him.
Would
40
you?
grand.
Would you
man.
pay for
That's my
Rich's
man.
funeral?
That's right.
Yeah, Rich.
My funeral, the jam at my funeral.
40 grand
I'll,
will
I'll
cost.
give, I'll
Just
give
sponsor
Rich
my
40 grand and he'll make something happen out of that.
Of course.
No, you won't. He'd blow the shit. He'd blow the
Damn,
shit.
up my nose, right? Yeah.
Herrick, let's go to you real quick, homie.
Like Aerosmith.
Last question, homie. Should
I left it in Peru.
Man, I gave you 40 grand.
I sniff.
I got you,
I
I got
snort
you.
half of Peru.
all right, Super Herrick, last question, homie. Should breaking promoters, should they collaborate more with AllStyles community to secure a budget and their expenses. Now, I just mentioned that there was an event that happened last year, AllStyles event, that had 100 racks. Do you think we should start doing some more events with the AllStyles community just to secure? The AllStyles community is bigger. It's much bigger than breaking. I mean, without a
It's
doubt.
all right.
And I think this is why you see those numbers, because it's much bigger, you know. I think it's just more approachable, you know. I think unique
bro.
people, right?
IG,
That's what
bro.
Jig said, right? Unique people takes to be a b-boy. And I'm not trying to take away from any all-star dancers, because they're still dancers and I respect that, but it takes a unique type of person to really be involved in breaking. You know?
Feminine motherfucker.
You know, to be involved in breaking, because, you know, I mean, I don't know how deep we all, you know, to me, you know, it's not about just the move. Sometimes it's about creating, you know, being that character, having concepts. And sometimes it takes only that one session to just work on one concept that maybe that shit is left to that legacy, or maybe that shit will be gone to the thought, to the mind, to the consciousness, right?
Okay.
So I think it takes unique people, and actually, from my experience, all I've seen has been unique people in this breaking community.
True. True.
So should they be involved with them? I mean, yeah, sure. It will become like a dance competition rather than a b-boy jam, right? So we just kind of separating that. I mean, I like having b-boy jams. I like going to breaking jam. I like the drama. I like to get into a fucking fight if I need to get into a fight, right? I like to get called out. I like to call someone out. I like to tell it, yo, that's a bite, even if they don't know. I like to get on their face so they can get mad. And I'm still going to do that too. I can't do that. And that's a b-boy essence, you know?
Breaking
And
shit.
it's whatever, you know? And if you don't like it, you know, fuck it, make some noise. If you
Okay.
like it, make some fucking noise too. You
Okay.
know? That's what breaking.
Stop being gay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts. Should breakers enter all-style battles for a bigger, better payday? Rich Nice, your thoughts, please.
So, interestingly enough, I hosted an event tonight, and it had an open style cipher, and the prize wasn't as big as the breaking competition. And I heard some feedback, some very live feedback on how it wasn't fair that breakers were catered to better than the AllStyles community. And it's very valid, because that's what happened, right? There was a prize for the breaking battle that was pretty nice, and there was a prize that was a lesser value for the open styles, right? And I had no control over that. I was just on the microphone, you know what I mean? But it sparked the idea of like, well, and to your point, if this is the more popular thing, is that the thing that we should put the bigger prize pot to? You know what I mean? So like, that's just something to think about as a promoter. And again, at the end of the day, it goes back to the promoter, who's putting the money into this thing, right? Or who's like calling the shots. So yeah, man. I mean, should breakers be entering AllStyles battles if there's a bigger bag? Yes. You will get smoked by a lot of poppers. You will get, you know, people be doing.
You get shot by a fake gun.
Right, you will. You get your heart eaten and all
Your
kinds of
heart
stuff.
eaten.
But also, going back to my philosophy, breakers, b-boys, b-girls are the ultimate battlers. So like, you should be prepared for whatever's about to happen in that moment, no matter what. Because we're used to going to random songs. We're used to having somebody in our face. So like, that's a regular day at the office, as we say. Like, that's another day in the office. You know what I mean? Like, we used to say that as a crew all the time. So it is what it is. So like, the song sucks, or like you know it or you don't know it. They throw in cocks, or they shooting guns and cutting your head. Whatever it is, like, you got to respond or even lead the battle. So like, that's what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yeah. Super Eric, should breakers enter all-style battles for bigger, better payday? Final thoughts.
Now, before I answer that, right? Just speaking back from Rich said, like, even like sometimes I feel in the battle, I can see like the other people's faces when like someone does like a power move or something. Like when I came up, like even with TAC, I learned this. Who gives a fuck what you do?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like, I don't care what the hell you do because I'm gonna fucking just do it better. You know, like one airflare doesn't mean shit to me, and two, even it's two things. It's the same thing. You know, so I just don't get that. I don't get that because I come up with like I have this shit that is better than all this shit. You know, and at that moment, you know, and if I fuck it up, it's on me, right? Take the L. Stay quiet, fuck it, right? And if I see something dope, I'm gonna be like, fuck, that was crazy, right? Like, you know, I might not say in a battle, but I have to be like, yo, that was crazy, okay? But just to think about, I don't get it, you know, why getting nervous? Like, you know, because my air flare or that air flare, someone might have a crazy idea on that footwork, or that footwork or that air flare might be crazier than that. So to me, sometimes it's that anxiety of battling with the new cats. And that could be that gay part that you're saying to me. Anyways, picking back of that, you know, I have confidence. That's why I wouldn't be worried about. I wouldn't be worried about that. The black guy that you said with the big dick. Anyways, I'm just taking back. I have
banana dick, by the way.
Plus, I did my DNA, and I have like what 30% Nigerian, something like that.
Hey,
I'm okay with that.
23andMe stealing his shit.
Thank you, Herrick. Thank you, Herrick.
But anyways, sure, whatever the answer was, yeah.
Jigs. This show is reckless as fuck. This might be a throwaway show.
$100, yeah.
Nah,
This might be a throwaway show.
Banana dicks all day.
Got Jersey.
Only bananas. We should be called only bananas.
Jigs.
It's crazy.
Jigs, final thoughts, sir. Should breakers enter all-style battles for bigger, better payday?
What's bigger?
If the money is better in the all-styles dance competitions, should breakers stop fucking with breaking battles and just go directly to all-style competitions?
I mean, if you got the tools, yeah. If you have the tools, yes. If you can head spin, yes. If you can air flare, yes.
That's crazy.
If you can just dance, maybe not. Who the fuck are you?
Hey.
Right? Nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers confessing to crazy shit.
Snitching on themselves. They're out here snitching on themselves, right?
Oh,
Yo.
Incriminating themselves.
I'm still the champ.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that, homie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck is playing themselves?
What was the question?
Yeah, you're a hero.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on the show and being able to have a constructive conversation, a good ultimate discord with regards to the topics today. For those of you guys out there that tap in, thank you so much for tapping in. And hopefully we tap in on our next one. This is Rick the Ruler with the AER Bboy Bgirl podcast signing out. Peace.